Advance polls have favoured Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa to win Portugal's January the 24th presidential election. He has managed to convert his years of popularity as a political commentator on television into campaigning momentum. Rebelo de Sousa is not an official candidate of the Social Democratic Party, which he helped to create, but he can count on its support as well as that of the People's Party CDS-PP. If the centre-right candidate does become president, he will work with a government put together with all the left-wing parties' support. While between stops on the campaign trail, the former PSD leader told Euronews that if elected, he'll try to build bridges between the factions that grew out of the last political crisis. He says, without renouncing my ideas, I will try not to discriminate. I won't create any problem, any instability, any criticism of government action. I'll try to keep the basis of support for the government intact. As we know, that base is very complicated, established on agreements within the parliament.
What do you think about the measures taken by this government, namely to reduce austerity?
On one hand, they seem very fair to me, because the Portuguese people inevitably have suffered a lot in the last few years to overcome the country's financial situation. It was not possible to impose more sacrifices like the ones they have faced. On the other hand, the measures require a lot of balancing to avoid losing financial traction.
You've said you want to be a referee as president. In what situations could you show this government a red card?
In my interpretation of the Constitution, the dissolution of Parliament is justified if there is a serious crisis in the smooth functioning of the institutions. The government with Parliament, the government with the courts, within the government, or the government with the President.
You are not afraid of disagreements between the parties on various issues?
Clearly, this government has two difficult challenges. One is to achieve social justice without losing financial ground. The other is to avoid problems in its political support base. I expect this. I want this. I will work to avoid a crisis in the government's political support base, because that would mean a new political crisis. Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa has been campaigning very informally. As a former journalist and TV commentator, he is aware about what works for the media, conscious of every phrase and gesture.